there is a desire to achieve that which one seeks to aspire to in order to fulfill the desire to feel comforted, to feel secure, to feel that it was worth it in the end. This is going to be a collective reading. We have extremism here. We have control. We have fortune. And we have protection. And flirtation as the last card. In the heart of the nature, there is a precedence in seeking the fortune, or is fortunate within the deeper parts of the self, where there is a realization that whatever is becoming part of what is within the nature of its own true identity. In other words, in simple terms, I see, therefore I am, I seek, therefore what I am, I want, therefore I am, and so on. That kind of should speak to someone who wishes to understand that. If you are in your thoughts focused on loss, stress, worries, that is then what becomes manifested for you, because there is no good guy, bad guy in the universe. There is only energy, and energy moves towards the highest concentration of what is within the heart. This is also why some criminal behavior gets rewarded. There's your answer to that as well. Why do bad guys get away with everything? Because they see themselves as unconquerable. They see themselves as being able to get away with everything. Therefore they will. It's not because God has stepped out, or Great Spirit has stepped out, or the devil has stepped in. None of that. It's purely based on the energetic frequency of what that person believes of themselves. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm negating that God or the devil does not exist, or does exist. None of that. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is you have free will, and you choose to live your life in a way that is based on where you're going towards. Human life is essentially deterministic. You determine as much as you're able to through your experience of how you feel about yourself. Within the reading, we are looking at certain elements here that are perhaps plaguing each other, or plaguing one, or plaguing the collective, where there is a seeking to try and establish focus on needing to find the control within. And often enough, those that are coming in contact or around such people are finding whatever you're doing as a movement to be often understood as extreme. For others of you, you might find this process a liberating experience, where you truly are found and profound within your own movement, within your own self. And for others of you, there will be romance coming towards you, as that is a desire that human nature seeks to experience and wishes to endeavor to determine the feeling of companionship. We have Seven of Swords under extremism. We have the World. We have the Eight of Swords here. We have the Four of Wands. And we have the Lovers. I'm picking up that there is a sense of desire to wish to expand on a feeling of the nature of the truer self, but sometimes it comes with a bit of a price. This may be the people that are surrounding you. This may be even cross-watchers. This may even be the people that are impacting your life. As I said before, I read the energy, and the readings are showing everything, which means it's not just only your energy, but it's the people that you come in contact with or that you have engaged with who are then also connecting to others. So it's far-reaching connection is moving through this process. So it is up to you to decide and discern which fits for you and which does not. The good thing is it's a small channel, so it can only be so many people that you can experience in any one reading. Although, let me say this, there's at least 200 people looking at this channel, even though they're not subscribing. So it'll be good if they subscribe. I'm seeing that there's a experience in the movement of the personal self in terms of desire to bring power back into the self, but there is a focus that needs to happen to bring that control back in. Often enough, there is also the sense of a desire between people to reconnect and form a new idea, a new passage that will give guidance. There is the Eight of Swords here at the heart of the nature and adjacent to the Fortune, which is also above the heart of the nature, which suggests that there is a focus on allowing the same nature of what you have had to learn to clear within yourself, that it would come out in some way, that you don't feel stuck in it. At this moment in time, the reading is being done in the Mercury retrograde, which means that there's a lot of emotional energy that's all over the place, that's trying to find a way to root itself so that there can be some sense made of it. And there is, for some of you, experiencing the pain of not being able to have that guidance to be as clear as you would wish for it to be, because perhaps there may be too many other things in your consciousness that are overloading your focus a bit. And for others of you, there are some that are wishing to celebrate, as you will be doing for some of you over the weekend that you've had the 4th of July, which I can see is in here, 4 of Wands, 4th of July, so that does say something. And for others, Canada Day. So yeah, overall what I'm seeing here in the energy is there is a focus on trying to bring some sort of direction into motion, whether it's based on wishing to achieve something forcing the energy to work harder than it should be. Perhaps there may have been some incidences that you've dealt with at work that had you rethink about how you would approach it. I'm also seeing that there is a need to communicate, a desire that has to be fulfilled, that has to be put in place here, so that there will be a state of nature of calmness. At the bottom of the deck we have the Princess of Swords, which is the Page of Swords, or the feminine of the swords. And this explains why the communication is coming up, based on the fact that we are in the mercurial waves of communication right now. Most of the information can often be misunderstood or misread. However, in the frequency as it plays itself out here for the collective and those that you connect with, there is a need or a hunger to expand on the deeper conscious part of the self while going through this process. There is also, for some of you, I'm picking up on relationship situation that seems to be drawing a bit of focus on the inner self and who you are, making you question yourself, whether it's really something that you wish to encounter in your personal space. And so far, at this point, there is the nature to seek what is desired. And so it keys into the overall energy or the overarching energy of that which is being desired deeply, but must be felt from within the heart. Because it is always about how one creates it for it to happen. There is always that desire to wish to know. 8 of Swords in the heart of the nature, there's definitely some trapped emotional stuff there, some deeper feelings and overthinking on ideas, things that didn't make sense. If you look at the 8 of Swords, it's actually quite a beautiful card. Learning to remove the shackles from the past lives, the energies that have been tying up the personal self in terms of self-development. Her eyes are closed, but she has a lot of activity around her trying to come into her conscious space. And seeking to really bring that energy in so that there is getting rid of those belief systems that are holding you so tightly. And this is why the energy or the frequency is shifting the way that it is, because a lot of people are experiencing deep karmic cleansing and realignment to the self for this month. It is a very intense month for a lot of emotional energies coming up and a lot of mental things that are stuck in old belief systems, in old behavior, extremism, misunderstanding it as control or handling something, someone who's extreme and trying to figure out what's going on. Why are you doing this? And they keep prodding at that person and they keep prodding at them and they keep prodding at them to try and get their energy to disconnect or destabilize so they can have control over them. It's a classic textbook bullying tactic. I mean, it just happens, and so also in the astral form as well, in the astral realm. And even so, you don't have to even go into the astral realm itself. You can go into your deeper parts. You could just sit and think, or go to sleep and wake up and you feel different than how you went to go to sleep, how you felt. Why is that? Because that is literally how it works. Because someone on the other side of the world doesn't like you. You know, that sort of thing. And so you don't have to do hocus pocus to send negative thoughts to someone. Energy is extremely sensitive right now in this reality. The good thing is there's a lot of goodness around that which is not good. There is a lot of focus on bringing in something that is a choice that's made to give something good back. And as they give something good back, those that don't give good back sneak away as usual after they've picked from the fruits, cherry-picked everything to pieces, right? I can pick up on someone going through that experience right now. It feels like you've had enough. Like you've had, literally, you're tired of it and you wonder why you're still doing it. Well, it says here you should stop. Because from the 8 of Swords towards the 4 of Wands, there is a definitive break and an establishment from air to fire, irrespective of the nature of the number, obviously. You have the world in here. And so what I wanted to say essentially was, what's eating you? What is eating Glenda Grape? What is eating you? What is eating you in this energetic space? I want to look at the shadows here. This one stayed behind. 3 of Swords, I'll put this here. We have the 2 of Swords in reverse. We have the Emperor here. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I'll place that there. And we have Temperance over the heart. And so what we're looking at is, it's not about not knowing the choice. Clearly, that which is what is eating at your energy is not something that is not out of conflict that you don't know what's eating at your energy. It's more like you know what it is. You know what it's doing. So because someone knows that is happening. So there's no secret here. 2 of Swords over the extremism and the 7 of Swords here. There's no secret. I know what I'm doing to you. So you're dealing with a person who knows what they're doing. Because the intention is to bring a focus down into the consciousness that makes that which is being fed off from obsolete, so that that one can take the energy back. Now, this is not necessarily a person, because what I'm seeing here is it's presenting itself in numerous ways. I mean, it's presenting itself as the Emperor, then as the Princess of Swords, and it's like presenting itself in different variations, so different masks for different behavioral experiences. And I think that this may actually be an energetic frequency that one could call an egregore or a thought form that is literally moving through people and making them do things that are deep inside of them that they have never cleared up, which comes from long time ago, comes from the ages of the human race. This is what I'm seeing is happening here. Because what initiates evil behavior? What initiates malevolence? Is it the person themselves? Yeah, there's choice to accept in doing that, because it says there is a choice. I choose, I'm not in conflict, to let myself let myself just do what I want. That's chaos magic for you. And when I say chaos magic, I'm not saying it's that which is against a person or anything like that. I'm not saying there's something wrong with chaos magic. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is chaos is the energy propels away from a central point. There is no focus or concentration, and yet there is a desire to actually take energy to have control over you. So the persons that you're dealing with have perhaps got this tendency to want to deliberately focus on the nature of how they can bring themselves about, using your energy as fuel. Because in order to create that thing that throws arrows out, there has to be energy taken for it to happen. Think about it logically. Think about the people in your life. Think about the people that you communicate with, the ones that you're not too happy about. The ones that peeve you, that piss you off. Think about them. Because what I'm seeing here is that many of you are actually trying to resist that particular frequency that's happening around you, and there are those around you that are doing that to you. So either you are in a position that you cannot afford that, you're in a main position where you are being observed by others, collectively, group-wise, or you're in a company where there are those that are snickering and sinistering perhaps around the corner. I'm not trying to create paranoia for you, but I'm trying to tell you that if you want that to stop, then you are advised to focus inward and to not become tied up to the patterns that are conflicting your consciousness. In other words, there's the Temperance right over the Eight of Swords here. The damsel is in the inside of the sarcophagus. She's not dead. She's just staying out of the fray, but she's tied up to past behaviors, past belief systems, things that do not serve her anymore. And so you're being reminded and urged to cut away the experience of old behavior, of old beliefs, because it is the healing of the heart in where the fortune lies. Think about it. And that will in itself, inadvertently and absolutely alter the direction in which your wheel of fortune will turn for you. Is when you're accepting that you have perhaps a few skeletons in your closet, visit them and burn them, cut cords. Once you do that, light will come into your mind and you will feel lighter, you will feel less burdened by that. We also have, as the outcome, fertility. That is your proof that you can protect yourself. Visit any sort of skeleton that you may think you have in your closet. And those that are trying to siphon your energy won't be able to siphon off of your energy anymore. So when you get rid of those things that are still holding you, because they operate on the wound, any sort of wound that you have. And so that is your advice going forward for this week. This was the Arcana Veil. Until next time.